Howdy guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Auntie Tay. If you guys are new here, that's who I am. If you're not, welcome back. I've missed you. Today, we're talking about ways to market your laser business. Let's get going. Make free samples, whether they're little mini samples or something that you can do quickly, efficiently, and not have to spend a ton of money on, but the sample is cool enough that people may want to see more. What else can you do? Do in-person events. This is where you are going to meet people. You're going to get to communicate with people. You're also going to get to meet other small businesses, other vendors. You don't necessarily even have to be in the in-person event. You can't, like as a vendor, you can go to in-person events where you can talk to the vendors and offer your services. Finding events where maybe there are small businesses who are selling something that's not the same as you, but you are going to them and letting them know, hey, I noticed you need new signage. I noticed you need custom engraving on your product. I noticed you need to elevate your branding. Are you interested in possibly letting me put your logo on your buttons of the product that you're selling, or logo on your necklaces, or making you charms to put onto your jewelry that says it's your brand? There are so many ways you can take your laser and work it into a vendor's needs. So meeting vendors is a really good way. And I actually suggest just going to the event and not vending, because if you are vending, you're going to be tied up vending versus meeting other vendors. I learned this with pinners. I was like, I actually should probably be coming to these events to walk around, not so much stay in one spot. It can be helpful just to buy a ticket and not do a booth. Create educational reels or entertaining reels, but I highly suggest educational reels. Educational reels, and the only reason I'm saying reels, I would say YouTube videos 100%. I think that you should make YouTube videos if you can, but reels are tangible. Everyone can do it. You can do it. It's free to find an editor, not like an editor to do it, but like an editor. InShot. I love InShot. You can use InShot. There's tons of video editing services. You can edit right on Instagram, TikTok, all the things. It's just, there's no excuses not to make reels. And I know that it's daunting and overwhelming sometimes to create content, but if you can sit down and just come up with 10 things that I can do a reel on to educate on my product, and I'm not talking about your product, I'm talking about how your product helps something and making a reel around that. If you deliver education, always that reel will be received well. It may not get millions of views, but everybody who watches it will gain something, that you are adding value to the consumer of the video. Send your products to micro influencers. Micro influencers are anybody who has like 5,000 to 10,000 following. Those people, and yes, they are being reached out to quite a bit these days, so you may fall into a puddle, but don't be worried if you have to reach out to like 10 or 15 or 20 people. But if you personally know a micro influencer, do not just go to them and be like, I haven't talked to you in 20 years. Will you put my product in your videos? That's rude. Don't do that. I'm talking about if you have an actual friend or an acquaintance that you do talk to on the regular, not just about products and how to move you further in life. It's just not received well by influencers coming from personal experience. I can vouch for that. So all I'm saying is, if you know someone personally and you can actually create a product that they would want, you can even offer and say like, what do you need? I'm not here to just make something and send it to you. Do you need a gift for somebody? Are you doing any videos or any content soon that may need something, and I can put something in there? Try to organically work it into what they're already doing. Don't make them have to do something completely different just for you, unless they want to. They may want to. You might have a really awesome product that influencers are gonna want, but micro influencers are nice because they're not always being reached out to, but they also have a very invested audience. And honestly, you only need a couple good customers to start. So if you can find someone who has 5,000 people, if 2 of their customers grasp onto the concept and go, now you have 2 repeating customers. If you've got some sort of business that offers really awesome services and you want to stay in that business for a while. Sponsor a high trafficked event. I'm not saying with money, I'm saying with like a free sample of something, getting involved and in front of people, but be very aware of your target audience and know, like, don't just go and jump in. I see this a lot actually. Especially being an influencer, I get emails all the time from companies that have nothing to do with what I do. And they just see a number and then they go, "Ooh, I'm going to sponsor that." Or, "We're going to send a sponsor email." And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to talk about your pillowcases. It's not going to be as organic, and I'm not going to get a return of investment on my own doing. So for that to speak to you, I would hope that you would know your product and you would know your target audience before you jump into a high trafficked area to sponsor, if that makes sense. When you're in a good space for your product and you are sponsoring it, do that. Offer to place your items in stores around you. Small businesses are really great about this. They may ask for some sort of rent or commission off of the products that they sell, which is totally cool. I actually was just watching Think Media's interview with Dave Ramsey, and he literally started selling his books by putting them in a video shop, and he gave a commission to the video shop owner, and he sold out of the books in the first couple days of them being there. So getting people behind your product who may not even be in the same world as you but believe in your product could potentially take your product and sell it better than you can, honestly, because you might be so tied up making the product that you don't want to talk about it anymore. You just want to keep making it. You could also work with store owners to where they can get a commission off of big orders. So maybe you put some sort of display in their store, and in exchange, if they get a big order for, maybe you are moving up to a CO2 laser and somebody makes an order for 1,000 patches for their business or 1,000 keychains for the big event they're doing, they can make a cut on that. So store owners may be willing to do that, and it just depends on what store, and it depends on the owner of the store and how much they want to be involved in what you're doing. Talk about it, okay? It is not a problem to talk about what you do and what you create. You never know who you are going to run into that needs your service or needs your product. So letting people know what you do in a very tactical way is okay. But do not, and we'll talk more about it at the end of this video, do not be pushy, okay? Be proud of it. If you're not proud of your product, then you need to refine your product, honestly. The product should sell itself, but it does need a human being behind it to introduce it to people. You are that person. Your product needs to be at a level where if somebody were to see it and hear about it, they would go, "Oh." Or if it's maybe not for them, they could maybe still think of why it would be cool for someone else to have it. So your product needs to resonate. And if it's not resonating, you might not be proud of it. If you're not proud of it, do the full circle and figure it out. But if you are proud of it, go back to that last step and talk about it. Let people know what you're doing, whether it's in person, on social media, in Reels, on a YouTube video, putting product placement in some form in somebody else's world. Be proud of what you are making and what you are doing. And again, if you need help coming up with a product to be proud of, I highly suggest joining our business membership. It helps me get to know you guys personally, and I can kind of know your world and help you product develop on a personal level. I've taken a couple people and refined what they sell in ways that makes it so that it's more organic in their world, and also they're more knowledgeable on these things so that they can share more knowledge on it. If you're making a product you're not familiar with, just because it sells well, you might not be able to talk about it. So join our membership. We have Zooms 1 to 2 times a week, and I get to know you guys, check in on your products. It's only $15 a month, and you get access to tons of my files, all of my files. And I create files based around what you guys need. So I'm like your personal little designer and business coach in the mix. So join us so you can be proud of your product. Know what you do or what your product is. That might seem obvious, but you need to know your product so well that you can tell anybody about it. But I'm going to disclaimer this one. Elevator pitch. Simmer down the ADHD, guys, because I know we all have it. If you're watching this video, you probably have it, because we're the entrepreneurs of the world. We're the ones who buy the lasers before we even know how to use one. We're the ones who jump in head first before we know anything about anything. And then we usually take off because we just have so much energy. And then before we know it, we're like, what are we doing with our life? Is that you? Yes, you're welcome. And no, I'm not a psychic. I just know my target audience. So with that, simmer down your ADHD and learn your elevator pitch. I don't want to hear about your product for 10 minutes. I want to hear about your product for 30 seconds. And there are some people who will want to hear about your product for 10 minutes. Those are your people you want to talk to for 10 minutes. Let the ADHD out, my friend. I'm looking for keychains. You can be like, I make custom engraved keychains for small businesses. If you need one, I'm here for you. Walk away slowly. It was clear, it was concise, they knew exactly what you said. Hopefully, if you said it well and I didn't say it way too fast, because I'm known for that. But so they know. And you can also say, like, so if you need some, or if you know anyone else who needs some, thank you for your services, thank you for your time, thank you. Trade and collab. If you can find other people who are doing similar-ish things that work together but not the same thing, going in on partnership on a booth for a vendor event can save you some money and fill up the booth a little bit better, but not super compete-y, not like super different too. So collab with people who work together well. And this goes with social media. If you are trying to promote on social media, find other people who are also trying to promote on social media that you can work hand in hand. Maybe making some of those educational reels together, where one person is making an educational reel on what to do with the product and one is making an educational reel on how to use the product. There's so many ways, and again, I can't go into the details for every single person, but again, if you are a business member, definitely can break down your process and try to figure out people that you would work well with and one-on-one-ish ways to get your feet moving. Look for places in need. We live up in a small mountain town, so I could literally go to all of the small businesses, the whole 4 of them, and look around in their business and be like, hey, would you be interested in magnets that say your business, or say small town of this, or born and raised here, because this is such a small town and like the 20 people who live here are gonna want one. Look for needs where you can fill them in. Wherever you live, if you're doing in-person stuff, feed into that. People love it. They love their like small town homey things. And this could be like a matter of you growing in one small town and then moving over to another one, or traveling a little bit further to another one and redoing that process of marketing until you've got like the 4 small towns around you full of custom products. Like, do custom work for high trafficked, well loved places in the community. I think about my cousins. They own one of the best pizza trucks on the planet. But in our small town, my cousins are so well known. They are like, yeah, I'm famous on the internet in their eyes, but they know everybody in our town. And I know that if I make something for them, it's gonna be in the eyeballs of so many people, but it's gonna be in the hearts of so many people too, because if they love it, then the community loves it. Because if they're wearing the hat that says their brand on it, they're gonna be like, where do you get your hats? We know that we love your products when we see them on you. Where do you get them? And they'll be like, oh, I know this small business. She makes laser patch hats, and she makes keychains for people, and she makes branding stuff for our business, and it helps. So they love giving word of mouth, and people are always going to be asking because, you know, they might have a food truck, but then somebody else might have a dog washing business and be like, we're not competing at all. Where do you get your hats? I need a dog washing hat. And someone can wear a dog washing hat and a pizza truck hat and not compete. You know what I'm saying? Strive for excellence in your product and in your marketing. We kind of talked about it in the product where we talked about being proud of it, but strive for excellence. Make your products really well. Use product materials that are high quality if you can. Try to take your time to make sure that they're done really well to the best of your ability. And your marketing. Always market what you're able to do. Don't ever assume you can do something. Let people know, yes, I have done that, or I have never done that before. I'm willing to try it, and if it doesn't work out, then maybe we'll have to revisit how we do that, but I'm willing to try it. But never overpromise and underdeliver. Always underpromise and overdeliver. And people might be afraid of that because they might think, well, then I'm gonna get stuck with like price gouging and people are gonna expect. No, just let people know, no, that was my first customer and I didn't realize it was gonna turn out that well. And now, because you're my second customer, you're paying twice more. And that's just from you, not trusting me, you know? So not to be like mean about it, just saying like, Reward those people who are trusting you, but also don't overuse their trust. So excellence in your product, excellence in your marketing. Don't be pushy or salesy. Your product is good. Your business strategy is good. Your marketing strategy is good. You've got something that people need. Don't push it, Buster, okay? Don't be in people's faces. Don't go into a business more than 3 times. Organically, when you're popping up in their business, just letting them know like, hey, did you think about that? Or for the most part, work with the people who respond with the first thing, people who are excited. There are going to be people who are genuinely excited about what you're doing, and there are going to be people who have no desire to work with you. Shake the dust off your feet and let them go. Don't push. You don't want to work with anyone you have to be pushy with anyways. You want to work with people who believe in you. And if you didn't find them yet, you just haven't looked in the right spots yet. So just keep looking, keep going. It only just takes 1 and then 2 and then 3. And then before you know it, you have a full roster of clients that are constantly asking you for stuff. So it's like a locomotion. Nothing good starts fast. You always want to work slow. And that also will give you time to work out kinks, learn your process, get better at it before you just market like crazy, okay? So one of my biggest things I stand by is your product and your process need to be really good before you just start telling the world about yourself, because you're going to crash and you're going to burn, and you're going to burn all of your credibility, and nobody's going to trust you. And then when you go to market something because you went back to go like fix it and get it all right, then you're now working on a barrier of, remember that one time you didn't deliver? So if you need help with that, again, become a business member. I would love to walk through it. I'd love to see your guys' products before you guys start pushing them and marketing them to people, because I love to try to help take that level of excellence to the next level. So join us. I'd love to have you. Get involved. Be involved in your community. Be involved in small business events. Join other people who are doing small business. Meet other small business owners. It's going to help you grow in your skills. Iron sharpening iron when it comes to all the kinks. Looking for people who've done things ahead of you and what they've learned and their failures, so that you don't have to make those failures and all the things. So get involved in my community. We would love to help you learn more about your own marketing strategy and all the things. So I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.